Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Wednesday, April 5, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. New York Knicks vs Indiana Pacers. While neither team has much to play for in this matchup, the Knicks are the healthier team and have the kind of scoring wings that give the Pacers problems. New York is 6-4 in its last 10 games against Indiana and 6-4 at TS in that time as well. The Knicks are also an impressive 25-14 at TS on the road this season. With Randle out, the Knicks will once again lean on their guard play, and Brunson, Grimes, and Emmanuel Quickley have been playing exceptionally well as of late. In addition, the Knicks are 4-1 at TS in their last 5 meetings with the Pacers. Don't discount the fact that the Knicks want to be playing at a high level heading into the playoffs, while the Pacers are likely counting down the days until the season is over. Take the Knicks -9 points. This contest is a bit of a clash in styles as the Pacers like to push the pace and the Knicks enjoy pumping the brakes. With the stout defense of the Knicks, they should be able to slow the Pacers' offense down. Couple that with the strong ball security out of New York, and Indiana should have little going for them in the fast break. Indiana also sits bottom 10 in turnovers and should suffer from multiple dead possessions, and even though the Pacers have the propensity to foul, New York has been anything but lethal at the line. The play is the under 228.5 points. Brooklyn Nets vs Detroit Pistons. Not having to travel is an added bonus for Detroit as well, and the Pistons are already 2-0 Austrian shillings against Brooklyn this year in the season series. Those Austrian shillings victories came against a version of Brooklyn that was loaded with superstars like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. The Pistons even won the game in Brooklyn as +8 underdogs with Irving and Ben Simmons on the floor back in late January. I'm willing to fall on Detroit's sword in this Austrian shilling spot, grabbing the points with a team that's at home, didn't have to travel, and is also playing their home finale. Yes, Brooklyn is the team that needs to and should win this game outright to keep that number 6 seed, but considering the roster turnover they've had this season, is seeing them slide to the play-in round going to be all that surprising? I just don't think it will be, and it's possibly going to happen because the Nets just don't have the talent that they did earlier in the year. And definitely not the talent right now to lay this kind of number on the road. The Pistons have plenty of experience as home underdogs this year, as they are 15-21 at TS in that role, but they do own a +0.3 at TS plus in those games, despite the losing ATS record. Detroit is a team that's never shy about climbing through the back door, and I think that they do enough to keep this one within single digits and send their fans home with at least a winning ATS ticket. Our team picked Detroit +9.5 points. I can't imagine we see too much interest in playing defense from either side here, and in Detroit's case, even when they are extremely interested in playing defense, they still don't do it very well. Brooklyn owns a 4-1 OU record in the second half of back-to-backs in their last 5 tries, and Detroit's only allowed less than 112 points against one time in their last 10 games. The Pistons are also 19-16-1 OU this year in those 36 games played as a home underdog. That's enough data to push me to the over side of this total equation, when it's really the situation and spot that had me looking towards the over in the first place. Our total pick is over. Toronto Raptors vs Boston Celtics. The Raptors have won 4 of their last 5 games. They are playing well offensively, scoring more than 114 points per game in their last 3 games, while making over 50% of their shots. They took advantage of their opportunities at the charity stripe, making over 85% of their free throws during that span. They do a good job finding the open man, and they're very aggressive on the offensive glass, which will give them more scoring chances. They also did a good job protecting the ball and won't give the Celtics a lot of easy scoring opportunities. The Celtics struggled defensively in recent games, giving up more than 114 points per game in their last 3 games. They are also coming off a tough road game against the 76ers on Tuesday and will be dealing with fatigue, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Raptors in this game. The Celtics have won 5 of their last 6 games. They are playing very well offensively, scoring more than 124 points per game in their last 3 games, while making 49% of their shots. Their rebounding has been good and will help them stay in this game, but they're careless with the ball on the road, which will lead to easy scoring opportunities for the Raptors, who average more than 9 steals per game. The Raptors are playing very well defensively, holding their last 3 opponents under 107 points per game. Even though they are also playing on consecutive nights, they beat the Hornets by 20 points in their last game against them and will likely build another big lead in Tuesday's game, which will let them rest some of their starters, so expect them to play well against the Celtics and keep their offense in check. Go with Toronto to cover the spread. Just like Toronto, the Boston Celtics are in action Tuesday against the Philadelphia 76ers and will be on the second leg of a back-to-back for this game. 3 days prior, they outlasted the pesky Utah Jazz at home 122-114. Jason Tatum had 39 points and 11 assists, and the Celtics are in pursuit of the Bucks for the top seed in the Eastern Conference with only 4 games remaining. Considering Boston is playing Philadelphia Tuesday night in what will be a tough game, I expect them to rest some guys for this game against the Raptors. This will be a slower-paced game, as the Raptors are 25th in pace of play. Take the under. Washington Wizards vs Atlanta Hawks. Point guard Trae Young made 2 clutch free throws with 1.8 seconds remaining in overtime to secure the win for the Hawks on Sunday evening. Dallas's Luka Doncic missed a potential game-winning three-pointer as the clock ran out. Guard Dejounte Murray led Atlanta with 25 points, and Kyrie Irving led all scorers with 41 for Dallas in the loss. The win moved Atlanta 1 ahead of the 10th-place Bulls for the final spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Dallas shot a bit better than Atlanta from the floor, 51.6% versus 47.2%, but they were cold from three-point range, 10-38, 26.3%. The Hawks out-rebounded Dallas 53-47. The Wizards are playing for pride only at this point, having been eliminated from the playoffs for the 2nd year in a row. They have won or pushed against the spread in 3 of their last 4 games, and they have won or pushed in each of the last 2 road games. They beat both the Celtics and San Antonio outright at the Capital One Arena in the past week and a half. The Hawks are still competing for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. They are currently 1 game ahead of Chicago for the last spot. They have been playing inconsistently overall, and they have lost 4 straight versus the spread. They have not covered in 3 straight at home, winning by a 2-point margin in each of the last 2 games. Washington played the Hawks hard in their previous 2 matchups in March, losing by 2 and 7 points in those games. The Wizards do not seem to be giving up, even though their playoff hopes have been dashed, as they have remained competitive against superior teams in the past several games and won outright against some tough competition recently. Look for Washington to take this opponent seriously and try to play spoiler to the Hawks' playoff aspirations. Take Washington with the points on the road. The Hawks have gone over the point total or pushed in each of their last 2 games at home. Their opponent has scored 120 or more points in 11 straight games. 2 of the 3 games played between these 2 teams this season have gone over the point total. The Hawks rank high in the NBA in several key offensive categories and are currently 4th overall in the NBA in scoring. The Wizards have gone over the point total in 2 of their last 3 games overall. Their shooters are efficient, ranking 8th in the league in shooting percentage, and they will need to score in bunches to keep up with the Hawks' high-power defense. Atlanta currently ranks 9th in the league in pace of play. Most signs point to a higher scoring affair between these 2 teams on Wednesday. Look for this game to go over the point total. Chicago Bulls vs Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee is 57-22 overall this season, and they hold the top spot in the Eastern Conference. With 3 games left in the season, the Bulls lead Boston by 3 games for the number 1 seed. The Bucks have won 4 of their last 5 games entering Wednesday night. Milwaukee is coming off of a 140-128 win against the Wizards on Tuesday, April 4th. The Bucks and Wizards kept the game close until the 2nd quarter when Milwaukee opened a huge lead. The Bucks led by as much as 24 points. Giannis Antetokounmpo led the team with 28 points in the win. The Bulls have done everything that they can to make the playoffs. They have clinched a spot in the play-in games, so they may take this time to rest and heal before their biggest games of the season. The Bucks will try to finish off their goal by finishing first in the Eastern Conference. Expect the Bucks to try and pour it on against Chicago. Take the Bucks to cover. It is hard for me to understand how inspired Chicago is playing right now. They are struggling and have lost 3 of their last 4 games. Their latest loss to Atlanta was ugly at best. The offense has certainly dropped, and I don't believe it will continue against a solid team like the Bucks. The under is 7-0 in the Bulls' last 7 road games versus a team with a home winning percentage of greater than .600. Take the under on Wednesday. Memphis Grizzlies vs New Orleans Pelicans. Luke Kennard has been a key part of the Grizzlies since being acquired at the trade deadline from the Los Angeles Clippers. He scored 20 points and hit 6 of 10 3-point attempts. With the Grizzlies, he has hit 69 of 133 point attempts, .530. Ja Morant leads the Grizzlies in scoring, 26.4 ppg. And assists, 8.1. Memphis averages 116.6 points and allows 112.4 ppg. Memphis finishes its season on the road with games at New Orleans, Milwaukee and Oklahoma City. Memphis is 2-1 against New Orleans, but this is their first meeting in 2023. New Orleans won 113-102 at home on November 15. Memphis then won the next 2 at home, 132-111 on November 25 and 116-101 on December 31. New Orleans is 7-2 against the spread in its last 9 games, but 2-2 in its last 4. Memphis is just 1-4 at TS in its last 5 games and 2-3 at TS in its last 5 road games. One other advantage New Orleans has is that the Pelicans don't have to travel in the second game of a back-to-back, while Memphis does. Take Pelicans -5 points. Recent trends suggest the under. The under is 4-2 in Memphis's last 6 games, but the over is 3-2 in the Grizzlies' last 5 road games. The under is 27 in the Grizzlies' last 27 road games versus a team with a winning home record. New Orleans is 25-14 at home. The under is 17-5 in New Orleans' last 22 games overall. Take under 232.5 points. Sacramento Kings vs Dallas Mavericks. There are rumors circulating that the Mavericks may shut down Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving for the remainder of the season. Many of the playoff scenarios that could happen are out of their control. Both guards are excellent offensively, Doncic averages 32.8 ppg, and Irving gets 26.7. Doncic also leads the team in rebounds, 8.7, assists 8.1, and steals, 1.4. The pair of all-star guards have not been able to mesh well enough to lead to wins. Christian Wood is a reliable big off the bench who adds 16.7 ppg and 7.4 rpg, and Tim Hardaway Jr. contributes another 14.2 ppg from the wing. They try to surround their star guards with shooters, as Reggie Bullock, Josh Green and Jaden Hardy are all threats from the perimeter. Sacramento will be playing their second game of a back-to-back, with both games coming on the road. The Kings already have their spot in the playoffs guaranteed and likely have their 3rd seed locked up. The Mavericks are playing for their playoff lives. There is a chance Doncic and Irving do get shut down for the season, but considering they still have a chance to get the 10th seed, I'll have to see it to believe it. Irving has found success against Sacramento this season, he scored 25 and 28 in their 2 matchups. Dallas is in a better spot here, they are at home playing a team with no rest. Dallas does not have any injuries to their core players and will be able to go deep into the bench while remaining competitive. Dallas is the play here. Dallas has gone under the total in 6 of their last 9s. Luka Doncic slows the game down with his strong ball handling and isolation style of play. Doncic holds the ball until late in the shot clock when he either creates his own shot or finds an open teammate. The Mavericks are at the bottom of the league in tempo, they rank 28th in pace of play. Sacramento is playing on no rest with travel in between, they play in New Orleans Tuesday night, then travel to Dallas to tip off Wednesday. Fatigue will be a factor for the Kings, as they will struggle to hit their averages. The Kings hit the under in 3 of their last 5 games. Dallas plays slow, and Sacramento is in the second half of a back-to-back. Take the under. Los Angeles Lakers vs Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is the top available scorer for the Clippers at 23.7 ppg. He has been shooting the three well recently, going a combined 9-17 from 3 over his past 3 games. Russell Westbrook has been up and down lately. He only scored 4 points in 26 minutes against the Grizzlies, but had 36 points and 10 assists 2 days earlier against the same Memphis team. Normal Powell needs to step up his scoring to replace George's production. He averages 16.5 ppg on the season, but has not scored over 16 in his last 5 games. Ivan Zubac and Mason Plumlee split minutes at the center position, but most of the Clippers' scoring comes from the perimeter. This is a tough spot to back the Lakers. They play in Utah on Tuesday night, then must travel and play the Clippers the following night. The injury report for this game has not been released yet, but there is a chance James or Davis sits this out, as it is a back-to-back, or at least have their minutes reduced. The Clippers have had the Lakers' number all year. They won all 3 matchups this season. The Clippers also do not want to fall to 7th in the West, and losing to the Lakers would be the first step in that process. Russell Westbrook will be out for revenge against his former teammates, and the Clippers' bench of Bones Highland, Robert Covington and Terrence Mann are all reliable pieces that will contribute. Kawhi can defend LeBron in crunch time, and the Clippers will pull this game out. Take the Clippers to cover. The Clippers have gone over the total in 5 of their last 6 games. They have been scoring well recently, including scoring 141 against Memphis and 124 on Chicago. The Lakers have gone over the total in their last 4 games and scored 121 or more in their last 3, not including Tuesday's game against Utah. The Lakers play at a fast pace. Their tempo is ranked 4th in the league. This will be a high-scoring, nationally televised game in Los Angeles, as the stars will come out to play. Follow the recent trends and take the over. Take the over.